Okay, hi everyone. It's been a while since I've done any updating, and I have a lot to talk about in a relatively short amount of time. The first thing is, I'm sorry, I have a huge zit, so I've got some zit medicine on. So if you see a white dot on my face, that's what that is. It's medicine. But anyway, that's not the most important thing. We've been talking about, over our videos, our struggle to conceive and adopt, our whole long journey to our family. Everybody knows that, who's watching the videos. Our last video, look those up, that talked about how my husband's vasectomy reversal did work, and we were continuing trying to conceive. Also with the adoption, I don't even remember the last time or what I said, but here's our update. In the meantime, I was talking about how while we're waiting on our permanent placement, we were doing emergency foster care and respite foster care, and how we enjoyed that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, moving on. So, in the last 6 to 8 weeks, no more than that, since the last time I did the video, we have had a few emergency respite care placements. And then I got really, 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 really sick. And while we had a couple of children, we had a newborn. They went to a kinship placement, a relative. I'm sorry, that's my bird. She's really loud. And I'm sorry that my hair is a mess, But anyway, then I recovered from being sick. Then, as in my other videos, most of you know, I'm a member of Little People of America because I have a type of dwarfism. And so I'm fixing to talk about something really big there. The other thing is that I really want to talk about, this is really hard. Adoption, foster care is so hard. I mean, over the last 2 years, we've taken situations where we've done some short-term respite or emergency respite, or just, so we've been doing this sort of for the last 2 years while we wait on our adoptive placement. And I've mentioned Adopt Us Kids. We keep inquiring about children there, and nothing ever works out. Shh, please, baby. So, I mean, I could make a whole nother video on that subject alone. But here's what I really want to talk about today. I'm a member of LPA, Little People of America. And they have someone there who is a representative for adoption. And she's basically like a facilitator, and she's wonderful. I adore her. She's called us, and I may have mentioned it before, about a few babies in the last 6 months. A couple of them we had to turn down because the agency fees were so high. I mean, you're talking $30,000 to $50,000 range. And that's not a lot of time to come up with a lot of money. And the bottom line is that's another video I can do, and it will also be in my book. Nobody wants to talk about the financial aspect of adoption in a real way. I mean, they want to be like, it's this much and blah, blah, blah. But anyway, my point of the video today is we got a call about a baby girl, and I won't go into too much detail, and we were matched with her, and her birth family chose us, and so we flew to another state, and we had her for 2 days. We signed all our paperwork, and we were waiting on the mom and dad to sign their paperwork. And the night before the paperwork was signed, the dad changed his mind. I'm not going to go into all the reasons or details right now. I think things could have been handled differently on all sides. But we had to give her back. We had her for a little bit and had to give her back. And we've been home a few days now. And I'm sorry, my bird is driving me insane at this moment because all she wants to do is talk to you guys. You can hear. But anyway, it's been... it's been the most painful thing. It's like giving birth to a child that you waited 17 years for. and spending a couple of days with her, and then that child dying. That's what it's felt like. Only it's kind of worse than that, because, you know, if your child dies, you know, depending on your faith, you know, I believe that we would see her again. You know, most people have their, you know, depending on what your faith is, that it's not the be-all, end-all. But to have your child that you've waited so long for to be yanked away, because of ignorance, basically. Not on the mother's part, and even the father's part, you know, I mean, he's not very mature. I mean, he's older, but he's not very mature. And, I mean, we were directly told after we got there that, you know, he was a very prejudiced kind of person. And, you know, although we thought things would go okay, you know, there's a lot of things that I want to say, but to protect people, I won't. I feel like in the state we were in, there was 96 hours from the time the baby was born till the parents signed off on the paperwork. Well, the agency, after we thought this papers would be signed on a certain day, the agency had talked the family into waiting a few more days to wait on the DNA test to come back. And, you know, anyway, it you know, and there was a misunderstanding. The father thought one thing about us, and we were supposed to meet for dinner so we could just get to know one another better. And then before the meeting, you know, he had a better understanding in his mind of, you know, who we were as people, and he didn't agree. And so now our little girl is in private foster care and being marketed. Well, not marketed. That's a bad word to use, not marketed. But the family is, you know, the mother, I don't know what to say without giving away a lot of details. Either way, we lost our daughter. And I just feel like it was over the father and his misunderstanding, you know. You know, culturally, and I mean, there was a little bit of, I guess, of a language barrier, and, you know, I mean, he doesn't want her. He just doesn't want us to have her, because, you know, we have different values, you know. I mean, so, I mean, the mother, she was sweet by all accounts, and, you know, they were not, it's my understanding, they were not in agreement on that, you know. But either way, he just had some misconceptions about us. We were supposed to be able to tell him directly, to explain. And one of the workers went ahead and a couple hours before our meeting, and just sprung everything on him. And then he refused to meet with us, and our voice was cut off. It's like, you know, let me tell you something. If you're trying to adopt, get this in your head. Your voice absolutely has no merit, has no value. You as an adoptive parent going through this journey, as far as the rest of the world is concerned, don't matter. So you got to get tough. You got to realize you're a second-class citizen when it comes to adoption. You're not respected. You're not cared for. Nobody wants to hear you. Even though the bottom line is you're really doing the birth family a service. You're helping them out. You know. You want to be parents, and some people will disagree. Oh, they're giving you the privilege, and that's true. You know, and I felt that way. I felt, and I was thankful, and I told the birth family through the agency that we were so honored that they chose us, and we were so honored that they wanted us to raise their daughter. So, you know, I'm going to do 2 videos here because I'm right at 10 minutes, and it's very hard for me to upload anything over 10 minutes. And I really need to talk about this. I think it's important. So, while as an adoptive family, you are given a wonderful honor by a birth family, at the same time, you're also feeling a need for them. And I feel like you should be respected as an adoptive parent as much as we respect the birth parents. But it's not the way it works. So, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. you know, this will be part 1 of adoption gone wrong. Okay, talk just a minute.